Hey, this is. I can't get an intro right. Probably need to actually be looking at the camera. Mother. Hey, what's up? This is Nathan Grabo, your Northern Colorado realtor. I want to talk to you about what I think is one of the coolest things about real estate, and that is just how much flexibility there is, and how many different opportunities, and how we can work around really different cool things. So I had a meeting this morning with a potential buyer's client that I met off of an investor website, and we were kind of talking about trying to get him into a property that he could either buy a duplex and live in one side, rent out the other, or maybe buy a house that he could rent rooms out in. And we were working through his debt to income ratio, and one of the things we realized is that his debt to income ratio wasn't going to allow him to be able to get a whole mortgage here in Colorado currently today. There's some things that are going to change about it we're going to get cleaned up over the next 6 months, but today it's not really going to work. And we were kind of working through these different strategies, whether that be seller financing or it's just different other things he could do to potentially be able to get into a house. One of the things we started talking about maybe trailer parks or renting a trailer park, and one of the things I thought was cool, we got to this point where it clicked that even though his debt to income ratio wasn't in that good of shape, and he's a veteran and he was looking at a VA loan, so I thought we're looking at 0% down or trying to have a really low down payment, but he actually had a lot of cash on hand, and for him, real estate in my mind, real estate is about getting started, and it's about getting your foot in the door and getting going. So we were talking, and I talked to him a little bit about my Iowa properties. And for people who don't know, I currently own a duplex, triplex, and sixplex in the Ames, Iowa area. And they cash flow well. They're great properties. We have great tenants, great property management. The property manager actually happens to be my realtor out there as well. So really awesome setup. And as I was telling him kind of about those properties, he got really interested. And what we realized is that even though he couldn't qualify for a conventional mortgage on a primary residence here, we could actually get him an investment property in Iowa. And doing that through a non-conventional loan, something called a DSCR loan, which is a debt service coverage ratio loan, where you take the actual money that the property makes as opposed to the money that you have and value the loan that way, or qualify for the loan that way. Essentially, then you're able to go and you put 20% down, so you have a higher down payment, but that was fine for him. And say, okay, the property's gonna produce this money, and we use that money that the property produces to justify the loan, and it's a whole income property. So I'm about to send the email here to Colin, the shout out to Colin, our realtor in Ames, Iowa, getting him and Kyle connected now to talk about that. But I think it's very likely that what seemed like at one point was this, we're not going to be able to get you a property, and this is too bad here in Colorado, is actually going to turn into him being able to be a small multifamily investor and start his portfolio there, which is really, really cool. And just it shows how just because one thing doesn't work in real estate doesn't mean that we don't have other options and we can't do other things. So that's one of my favorite things about real estate investing, is just the flexibility and the optionality that we have. Thanks, guys. Hey, you made it to the end. Your attention span is more than 140 characters long. That's awesome. Probably means you liked the video, so hit the subscribe button below. If you want to get in contact with me about potentially investing or purchasing a property for yourself or selling a house here in Northern Colorado, link to my contact form is below. Also, if you are looking in Iowa, I've got a link to Colin's website as well.